Thank you for joining me. You're watching Hal Sparks Mega Worldwide on this. It's almost like a countdown of of maggot freakout tonight. It's pretty stunning. And many of these folks, I've sort of been, it's been hard to find clips of these people because there's so much of them. They're doing the full hour shows. I'll break through some of the things. We'll do some needle drops around some of these shows that are longer. But one of the people I wanted to see, and it was it kind of doubles on, is I think this is on Tucker Carlson. He has Steve Bannon on as a guest, and I don't know if he plays the clip. We'll see. He plays a clip of him outside of the courthouse or something as well, maybe, or when he came out and said something. I'm curious to see this one. Bannon on Trump raid. This is about pure power politics. Well, I agree. I mean, the amount of power that Biden has right now is stunning. If I was Trump, I'd be shaking in my shit right now.
Bannon has experienced the weaponization of the justice.
Oh, and he's got a fill-in too. That's weird. Joined Tucker Carlson tonight. Oh, he didn't join Tucker Carlson tonight. He joined Tucker Carlson and he's on the show.
The system firsthand. He's the former White House chief strategist.
Okay, so Tucker doesn't want to be on camera with Steve Bannon, and he doesn't want to have to answer any of this shit because he's not, I guess he's not ready to throw himself under the bus for Trump right now.
He has been targeted relentlessly by the January 6th committee.
He was president and the instigator of it. So when should they relent? Before he's confronted by the charges against him?
Joins us now by
they would probably relent a little. Like they wouldn't relent entirely, but they could relent slightly if this fucker would just show up and testify. And I guarantee they'd let him do it with a lawyer, on camera, prime time, all day fucking long, 11 hours, 2 pee breaks. That's it. He can do what was it in the Est gatherings where they wouldn't let you go to the bathroom. And Burt Reynolds did that movie where he had to tie a flask to his leg and then run a tube down his leg so he could pee. In the middle of it, it starts dripping and everybody. Never mind. Just
by phone to react.
Too old a reference.
To news of the FBI raid on Mar-a-Lago. Steve, happy to have you on the program.
Yeah, who wouldn't want to? Happy to have you on the program remotely, obviously, because we don't need to fumigate the set right now.
Have you by phone here tonight?
By phone, even better. We don't even have to clean the. We lost so many cameras over the years.
What's your immediate reaction?
Well, I gave this speech, the keynote address at the Cattlemen's Ball at CPAC on.
Yes, at the Cattlemen's Ball at CPAC.
Friday night. I said,
congratulations.
We're at war. We're at a political and ideological war.
No, we're not at war. We're not at war. This is not war. This is law and order. This is not war.
And they've obviously weaponized the Justice Department. And this had to be approved by Ron Klain. This had to go up to
This had to be approved by Ron Klain.
The White House to be approved.
No, it didn't.
Absolutely.
It did not absolutely.
Anybody saying that?
As a matter of fact, is the green screen messing with me? I'm sorry. That's not me. That's the ghost of Jeffrey Epstein. I'm sorry.
Is a liar. This had to go up the chain of command through Merrick Garland to Ron Klain at least.
Why? As a matter of fact, the possibility of certain judges signing off on it would be lowered slightly in this extreme circumstance if it had gone all the way up.
And Ray
and kiss my ass.
Yes, but look, here's the thing.
Here's the deal. Ladies and gentlemen.
This is about pure power politics.
This is about presidential virility. This is about Dark Brandon teabagging the former, and I do mean former, president of the United States, who's just trying to pass the waning years of his life living in the attic of an old golf club.
They're absolutely scared to death about Trump. It can't be. Mark Elias, the guy who laid out the entire effort to steal the 2020 election, remember the Transition Integrity Project, he's tweeting right now all the U.S. codes. about documents and how make sure you can't run for federal office again. They're absolutely petrified.
Well, the interesting thing is if he doesn't have any of that shit, it won't matter. I mean, I know that's a little detail, but if Trump hasn't destroyed or absconded with classified material, he doesn't still maintain classified material that he was supposed to have turned over and he hasn't, or if they don't find elements of destroyed documents that he had kept and then gotten rid of on the property or any other in his possession anywhere else, or more likely that he had photocopied, if he had any copies of documents that he was supposed to return. If they don't find any of that stuff, then who gives a shit? He can run. Nothing's going to stop him. Why would he even worry? What's to worry about? He doesn't have any of that stuff. I mean, honestly.
Trump's going to announce in the next couple of weeks.
Nope.
Win the Republican nomination. Win the White House. Now,
yeah, and by the way, if he announces in the next couple of weeks, he fucks the entire fall.
Now, here's what's incumbent upon everybody.
Yeah, okay, I'm sorry. It's incumbent on everybody. So obviously you and I, go ahead, Steve.
The House leaders right now need to step up and recommit Jim Jordan. Full investigation. I think cutting off appropriations to the FBI to get to the bottom of this.
Yeah. I mean, sure, they're trying to catch international criminals and they're trying to catch multiple serial killers right now. But hey, if we have to lose a few hitchhikers and school children and maybe another Oklahoma City building, who gives a shit? If they're bothering Trump, they're serving a legal warrant on him. Okay? If that's not a reason to let all the Ted Bundys have a free 3-week pass, I don't know what is.
Okay, this is going to continue on. The FBI right now is...
Well, yeah, of course it is. He's guilty.
The Gestapo.
The FBI is the Gestapo. Yes, they wanted to fund the police. And ladies and gentlemen, what would be the proper response to the Gestapo, the actual Gestapo, walking the streets in the United States? What do you think your response should be if you saw actual Nazi police grabbing Americans off the street? What do you think? What level of force do you think that would that would necessitate? What do you think? Right.
The FBI is the Gestapo. What does that mean?
It's Gazpacho. You're right. It's the Gazpacho police. They're just they're the perfect sauce.
Colorado
to roasted Trump.
Putting a gold star mother like King.
That's what they're saying, Michael. That's what he's getting at.
Peters in chains. Peter Navarro in chains. It's absolutely obscene. This is an obscenity.
Well, I mean, I don't know what Peter Navarro is into. I haven't seen the pictures, but I do know that if he had shown up and said, "I'll be there," that never would have happened.
And we're going to have to fight fire with fire. The way to do it
yes. So, yes, Steve Bannon and the people at Fox News are going to have to, checks notes, legally get a warrant to look in Joe Biden's safe by presenting an enormous amount of evidence equal to the task in front of them. Yeah, that's not going to happen.
Win elections, win them overwhelmingly, and then use the appropriations process.
If you can win them overwhelmingly, then obviously the elections aren't rigged. Right? Nothing's really changed.
Just to choke.
If you win, then is it... Wait a minute. The Democrats cheat. Maybe they want certain Republicans to win because they'll destroy the Republican Party from within, and it's part of the Democratic long game to let people like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Matt Gaetz stay in office? Holy shit, you might be onto something, Steve. So go vote as a Republican, and they will make sure, in the primaries especially, that the biggest lunatics will make it into the Republican Party and eat them.
Down the FBI and shut down the Justice Department and get to...
Yes, shut down the FBI and the Justice Department and get them off my back.
The bottom of...
Yeah, this is really about Trump.
To approve this. This is so outrageous.
It's out. There it is. And we have an outrageous. Ladies and gentlemen, I've told you many, many times the word outrageous. It's almost like there should be a drinking game around lying politicians and their ilk. that if someone says outrageous, it's true. Whatever the accusation is, whatever they are accused of is true. If you say outrageous, because technically speaking, outrageous is one of those words that can be genuinely true whether the attacks on you are positive or negative. It's outrageous that I am being accused of playing with a fart gun online. I mean, I am, but it's outrageous that you would say something like that in public. Outrageous is a bullshit word. There it is.
It needs to be investigated.
I want to ask you this question.
Can you kick my ass?
Steve,
FBI agents grab documents and boxes without going through them properly. Source. Without going through them properly? Motherfucker, they were government property already. That's why they were put in the basement going through them properly. Believe me, your shit will be returned to you. What do you mean going through them? They don't spend all day going, incriminating, not incriminating. This is just a receipt. Receipts are never incriminating, are they? Nah, just leave that. Nude picture of Ivanka. Is there a pile for the nude pictures of Ivanka, or?
You know, I'm familiar with your point of view. I'm familiar with
your point of view that the election was stolen, which we can't say because you just cost us maybe $1 billion, asshole.
Opinions you share on War Room. I'm familiar with how deep you fear the corruption has run within the United States of America. I'm curious. I said this earlier in the program. Believing elections can change the place in which we sit today in the United States of America is a very optimistic point of view, because this corruption, if it is partisan corruption,
if it is, it isn't.
Isn't relegated to the FBI. We saw 87,000 new IRS agents have been hired. You can look at almost any federal institution, including the intelligence community, who dismissed Hunter Biden's laptop as disinformation.
Well, again, even if they wanted it to be useful, it can't be, because Rudy Giuliani broke the chain of evidence in such a horrible way that it's useless.
And you can say to yourself, this isn't...
And there was no laptop to start with.
One apparatus. This is not one department. This is not one election.
So either the entire U.S. government is corrupt and out to get Donald Trump and is against the very Constitution that everyone in it swears an oath to, or Donald Trump is a crimey fuck surrounded by other crimey fucks, and Steve Bannon's a crimey fuck who crimed the fuck out of maggots.
Our problem is deeper.
Yes, your problem is deeper. You want to ask him a question? Ask him about the build the wall scam he ran that Trump pardoned him on.
Well, you're 100% correct. This is not about corruption. That's not corruption. This is about the administrative state. This is about an undemocratic apparatus.
Well, no, it was democratic. We kicked him out of office. He lost horribly.
Bigger than bureaucracy. This is the administrative state, and they want to run things their own way. And they want to pick and choose who actually runs and who actually wins. This is why it's...
Well, then what difference do the elections make, dummy? What has changed? If you think the Democrats somehow magically controlled the fucking election when they were out of power, you think they got less control now? The fuck are you talking about? Let me get this right. Biden, as a challenger and a long shot in the primary initially, except for people who knew, like myself, managed to steal the election from the sitting president, who was the greatest ever, but never saw it fucking coming. Now that he's in office, you think you have a fucking shot? Or maybe it's that you know it wasn't rigged to start with, and you can't sell that line of bullshit and get people to vote on your side again.
Look, we have 2/3 of the nations in back of us. Hispanics, African Americans, Asian Americans. It's now time to take control of the House of Representatives with an overwhelming victory.
Yeah, it's not going to happen.
And then act like we mean
it.
And then act like it.
Jordans and people have to step up, and Kevin McCarthy have to step up.
Yeah, McCarthy's not going to be the speaker. He knows it. Why the fuck? I mean, he's caught between a rock and a dumb place.
We're going to have full investigations. We're going to choke them down in corporations. Listen.
I got it, Steve.
I got it, Steve. Look, I'm out of time, and you've already cost us $1 billion, so I got to hang up on you right now. And I could smell you through the phone, and my eyes are watering. So, last thought.
Democratic. Okay, go ahead.
I hate to cut you off, Steve.
Nobody hates to cut off Steve Bannon.
We have more information coming in as we speak, so I got to get to that. Steve, it's great.
We got more information from somebody who actually knows instead of just somebody who's trying to incite violence all over the fucking country and get a bunch of FBI agents snuffed in their cars by crazed maggots.
To hear from you tonight.
Subscribe
Subscribe to our thing. I hate having to say shit.